The moment is now. Are you ready?
Let's play Armis. Hello everyone, my name is Socheat from Cambodia. Our mission today is Sea Sniper. In this mission, I will use the precedence of Pang setup, as you see below. There are three important key pieces in this mission. The first piece is the president, the second one is the aircraft carrier, and the third one is the Coast Guard. In this mission, I will use the president to board on the aircraft carrier and then go through the Coast Guard to capture my opponent reserve in a single move and then capture my opponent flag in order to win the game. So let's start it. The computer accepts my setup, so the computer will move first. Let's see what is his first move. Okay, my opponent decides to use his vice president to capture my president, so I will use my marine to capture my opponent vice president, and I will use my mover to push the submarine to the west. Okay, my opponent decides to move his marine to the north port, and his marine can capture my president and media, but my president and media are covered by my marine or my helicopter, so it's okay. He will not capture my president. Now I use my mover to push my submarine, and then I will use my mover to push my Coast Guard to the coastal water. Okay, my opponent move his marine to the coastal water, and his marine can capture my Coast Guard or my aircraft carrier at any time. So I cannot lose these two pieces because I need to complete the mission. So I will use my marine to force my opponent marine back or exchange the marine piece with my opponent. So let's see what is my opponent decision, whether he move his marine back or want to exchange the marine piece. Okay, he want to exchange the marine piece. So now I use my marine to capture my opponent marine, and in the next move I will use my mover to push my Coast Guard to the coastal water. My opponent move his army to the west, and his army cannot threaten my submarine or my mover in this turn, but maybe threaten in the next turn. Now I use my mover to push my Coast Guard to the coastal water, and in the next move I will use my helicopter to move it to the south. Okay, my opponent move his president to the eastern corridor. Now I move my helicopter back to the south in order to prepare to move my president to the west in order to board on the aircraft carrier. Okay, my opponent move his army to the south, and I cannot move my president. If I move my president to the west, my opponent will use the army to capture my president. Now I will use my mover to move to the south. in order to push my aircraft carrier to the Coast Guard and avoid the capture from my opponent army. My opponent pushed his Coast Guard to the Border Valley, and he can use his Coast Guard and Marine to form a strategy that forces my Marine back from the coastal water, which will make me difficult to cover my Coast Guard. Let me post my aircraft carrier to the coastal water and then move it to the deep water in order to complete the mission. My opponent moved his marine to the coastal water, and now I still cannot use my president to move it to the west. I need to strengthen my opponent army first. Now I will use my helicopter to strengthen my opponent army, or he may use his army to exchange peace with me. So, okay, he decided to exchange the peace, so I will use my marine to capture my opponent army. And in the next move, I will move my president to the west in order to prepare. Okay, I decide to move my aircraft first. My opponent moved his president to the eastern corridor. Now I move my aircraft carrier to the deep water, and in the next move I will move my president to the west in order to board on the aircraft carrier. My opponent moved his jet to the eastern corridor, and I don't think it can threaten anything. And now I will use my marine to move back to the south in order to cover my friendly piece, all of my friendly piece, most of my friendly piece. Okay, and my opponent now choose to move his helicopter to the west, and he can use his helicopter to capture my submarine. But I don't care about it because it is not related to my mission. Now I move my president to the west and prepare to board on the aircraft carrier in the next move. And now my opponent moved his president to the south a little bit in the eastern corridor, and he can strengthen my army, but my army is covered by my marine, so it is okay. Now I will use my president to board on the aircraft carrier in order to prepare to complete the mission. And in the next move, I will move my Coast Guard to the north. Okay, my opponent moved his marine to the south, and it can strengthen my army. So I will decide to move my army to the west a little bit in order to avoid the capture from my opponent marine or president. I will use my Coast Guard to move it to the north. Okay, my opponent decide to move his president a little bit to the west. Now I use my Coast Guard to move it to the north. Okay. In the next move, I will use my president to capture my opponent reserve and then capture my opponent flag. Now my opponent move his marine to board on the coast guard. So in the next move he can use his marine to capture my coast guard. So it is dangerous for me. So I need to use my president to capture the reserve now. And this is the sea sniper. As I move my president through the coast guard as a bridge to capture my opponent reserve and then capture the flag. Okay, my opponent move his religions to the south, which is irrelevant. So now I use my president to capture the flag. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.